how fun is the neon lights nail art trend that I've been seeing on TikTok? I just thought it looked so cool, so of course I had to give it a try myself. So I'm going to walk you through my attempt at doing this. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie, and in order to do this today, I have the new CN Designer Dips Black Swan collection. At the time I'm uploading it, it would have already been released, but let me show you this amazing collection. If you are dark and moody and you love those colors, this collection may be for you. This collection was gifted to me to preview as an ambassador for CN Designer Dips, but I am so excited to share it with you. I was so excited to see when they were releasing this collection. And if you're curious about my right hand, this is also a new release. This is the Garden Party Volume 3 collection, and you know I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I absolutely love these colors. 5 colors in the collection, so of course all 5 colors had to go on my fingers. I couldn't get it on fast enough. I absolutely love it. But let me go ahead and show you the Black Swan collection, and then we will get into a mani. I decided to use the colors Noir and Hidden Agenda from this collection. I needed a black background anyway for my nail art, so this was just perfect timing. I'll also be using my CN Designer Dips dip liquids, which I've been loving lately, and actually I'm almost out, so I'm going to have to refill them pretty soon. I'm not going to walk you through my process because this is going to be my standard dipping process of 2 dips of color, capping everything in clear, and I only show 1 layer of each of the colors just because I really wanted to get to the nail art part. But if you'd rather see the whole process, let me know and I can adjust that going forward. I just wasn't sure whether you wanted to see that or not. But before I hop off, I have to say, look at how velvety and beautiful this black is. So it's a solid black dip powder. It's 1 coat coverage. I did pour over, but I got no staining. It is just so beautiful. That's one thing I always wish CN Designer Dips had, was a solid black dip powder, and boy did they deliver. It does not disappoint. True to form, just excellent quality. Just popping in really quick because now I'm moving on to my glitter. So this is Hidden Agenda, which is a dark gray metallic glitter, and it is just so beautiful and goes with the whole vibe. Wait till you see it. I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera, and for my hidden agenda nails, I went ahead and top coated them. So I used the Seat and Designer Dips gel top coat, which has excellent shine, and it is a HEMA free formula. So I'm absolutely loving that. So now let's get into the nail art. So I'm going to be starting off using my white gel art liner, and this one is a HEMA free formula from Dipalicious. And I decided I wanted thinner lines for this first part of the nail art. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that gel onto my palette, and then I'm going to use my 5mm line art brush from the Painted Desert. These are some of the skinniest line art gels, line art brushes that I have found. Apparently words are escaping me this morning, but anyway, I know I'm using a gel art liner and I'm not using the brush that came in the bottle, and that's because I want a thinner line than the brush that's in the bottle. But I would say regardless of that, if you can, make sure you're using a gel art liner or even a gel paint if you're doing nail art. You don't have to, but they are thicker than regular gel polishes, so it does make nail art easier. I'd say if you're using a regular white gel polish, you certainly can. Just make sure that, you may need to adjust because it is thinner, so you may need to flash cure more often. It just depends on the gel polish you're using. So anyway, so I'm starting to draw out my hearts on my index finger, and I am really terrible at freehanding hearts. That's why I kind of like to do the two dots and tie them together approach. But since this is an outline, I'm just going really slow and trying to make my heart as even as possible. And then once I'm done with this nail, I'm going to give it a quick flash cure for 15 seconds just so it doesn't move and I don't ruin it once I get to my other nails. So I'll do the same thing for my middle finger. Once I've got that nail art drawn, I'm going to give it a quick flash cure for 15 seconds. I'll do my pinky, and then once I'm done with all three nails, I'm going to give it a full cure for 60 seconds. I watched a lot of different tutorials here on YouTube on how to create like the neon lights nail art look, which tells me a couple things. One, this is actually an older trend and perhaps it's making a comeback, perhaps not, I don't know. But two, there's a lot of different ways to get the same end result. So I kind of figured out what worked best for me, and I'm not gonna lie, this is my third attempt at doing this because I just wasn't happy with the way the first two attempts looked. So I'd say if you're trying this, don't give up. Just find whichever way works best for you. And I'll actually link below some of the tutorials that I did watch in order to get help doing this. I went ahead and did my pinky off camera, so now we're moving on to the next step where I'm going to use my gel top coat, and I'm going to mix a little bit of that in with my white liner that I already have on my palette because I want to sheer out the white I have, and I want to test to make sure I've got it sheer enough. So I don't want it too sheer, but I don't want it still opaque. So I'm just testing the amount of clear that I'm adding, just starting with a little bit because you can add more, but you can't take any away. So I think what I have is still just a little bit too opaque. So I'm just going to take a lint-free wipe and some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to wipe away what I tested. I'm just going to add a little more of my gel top coat just to sheer it out a little bit more. So the intention of doing this is I kind of want to blur out the solid lines that I did for my first step. So I've got my crisp white lines from my first step, but now I kind of want to expand it, but with a more sheerer color to kind of make that glowing neon look. And you'll kind of see what I mean once I get to that step. So now I'm testing it and I think it's sheer enough. So I'm just going to go around and outline around my lines that I already drew. So I'm going to go over and under them. So I don't want to go exactly over my lines. I want to extend past my lines, and that way it kind of has that blur effect. And I'm going to go ahead and do this exact same thing to everything that I've drawn on all my fingers. Before I flash cure my nail, I just want to do a little bit of cleanup, and I know it's a blurred line, but I feel like I went wide in a couple of places. So I'm just taking this cleanup brush and just a little bit of alcohol and cleaning up around the edges a little bit. And then once I'm done, I'll give it a 15-second flash cure, and it's going to be the same thing of after each nail, I'll just do a flash cure, and then once I'm done with my third nail, then I'll give it a full 60-second cure. For the colored part of the neon lights, I'm going to be using this iGel Beauty Gel. It's called Rosé Red, and it is a jelly gel. So you do want a sheerer color, or you could use neon pigments. I think the neon lights probably look better with neon colors, but I really wanted this to be Valentine's themed, so that's why I just used a jelly red instead of a neon color. But you can also use any other opaque color and just mix it in with some gel top coat, similar to what I did to the white, just to sheer it out a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking my liner brush, and where I did that outline of like the blurred white line with the crisp white line, I'm just going over that with that gel. So you can kind of see that I'm not covering up those previous lines. I'm just enhancing them, I guess, with the jelly red color. So you want to make sure that you have something sheer enough, unless of course you're working with neon pigments. And I'm not really concerned about whether I stay within the white lines or not. So if I get a little bit of that jelly gel on the black, that's completely fine as well. So I'm going to continue doing this to the rest of my nails. I'm going to do one final step because I feel like the sheer white that I did in my second step wasn't sheer enough. So I kind of lost my solid white line. So I'm just putting just a little bit of that white gel onto my palette, and then I'm going to use my Skinny Painted Desert liner brush, and I'm going to draw that outline of the line again, and that way it's a little more prominent. And this is where I want to be as precise as possible and try to keep my lines crisp because it is going to be such a thin line. So I do go slowly and take my time. You may not need to do this step if your white from your second step was sheer enough, but this is my first time doing it. Well, technically third time doing it, but I did use different processes first and second time. So I'll say this is my first time doing it. So, obviously there are lessons learned that are coming out of it that I know what to change if I try this look again. I went ahead and did my matte top coat off camera, and now I'm finishing up with my Scales of a Mermaid cuticle oil in the set Nice Buns. I believe this was a limited edition scent, so apologies if it is sold out because I love this scent. And I actually lost it for probably a good month or two, and I couldn't figure out where it was. Finally found it, I think, in my purse, and I have been obsessed with using it because I missed it, and I think it's just like the perfect winter scent because it's kind of, that nice spicy cinnamon roll scent. So absolutely love this stuff. And I'm just using some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe to wipe off my nails. So this will remove the cuticle oil because I'm not really careful when I apply my cuticle oil. I just kind of slather it anywhere. And then that will return my nails to a matte state. If you're still with me, thank you for hanging in there. So here is the finished look. What do you think? Did I pull off the neon sign look? Does it look like neon lights to you? I'm not really sure, but this is definitely better than my other attempts, so I will take it. Although I will say I'm showing you my matte top coat here, but because I attempted this 2 other times and I had to buff off my what I attempted and then try again, my nails were kind of scratched up and I didn't like the way that the matte top coat looked. So after this video, I went ahead and topped it with a gel top coat. I feel like you see most neon lights with a matte top coat, but I actually kind of really like the way the shiny top coat looked. So I'll leave pictures of both at the end and let me know what you prefer. Even though I'm not sure whether or not I pulled this off successfully, I am still glad I gave it a try because I love trying new things and I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's all that really matters, right? I mean, it did take me 3 times, but still glad I did it. So if you attempt this yourself, I would love to see it. So please tag me if you try this, and you probably will do it better than me, but we'll see. I may try it again next time and then maybe it'll even be better than this time. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. And if it was, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hit that bell down below to be notified anytime I post. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.